This video demonstrates strategies for working with learners who don't have literacy in any of their languages. For learners who don't have literacy in any of their languages, reading and writing should build on their English speaking skills. You might remember that when you first learned to read and write in school, you were reading and writing words that you could already say. The same is true for your learner. You want to focus on reading and writing activities that use the words, phrases, and sentences that your learner already uses when they speak in English. A good way to do this is to work with your learner to create a piece of their own writing. In these activities, the learner tells a story and you, the tutor, write it down. This story will then be the basis of reading and writing lessons. There are a variety of ways to help your learner create a piece of writing. You can share an experience with your learner, such as a trip to a store or a walk through a garden. You can ask your learner to narrate a series of pictures, such as from a book of picture stories. Or you can ask your learner to bring in a favorite photo or piece of art that they have created. Your learner can then talk about the item. In this video, you'll see a learner describe a healthy and delicious recipe that he likes to make for his family. In Chapter 1, you'll see a learner describing a favorite recipe for cooking healthy food for his family. Working quickly, the tutor writes down the story as closely as possible to the way that the learner says it. The story that results will be the springboard for reading and writing activities during this lesson and beyond.
Hey, good to see you again. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
And you?
When we were last together, you were going to tell me about how you cook your veggies.
My veggie, how I'm cooking.
And I'm glad that you are. And I am going to write it down and record everything you say for the most part.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is use those words to help you improve your reading and writing skills.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get started.
The vegetable, when I'm cooking, I buy vegetable like cabbage, carrot, celery, onion, and lemon. Cook it for 5 minutes.
Okay.
When it's done, you make your rice. If you got rice pot, you don't got rice cooker. You got rice cooker, you can cook the rice to the rice cooker.
Okay.
When it's done, that's it, ready to go.
Okay, here it is. What you told me, I wrote down, and I'm gonna read it. Then you're gonna read it.
Okay.
If you're comfortable.
Yes, I
And let me go. Okay, veggies, cabbage, carrot, celery, onion, and 2 lemons with squash and broccoli. The seasonings, black pepper, a little bit of salt, garlic powder, fresh, and Maggi. You get them together after washing them, put it in a pot, chop everything up, cut lemons, press into the veggies. You're not using any oil, just lemon. Add seasonings, cook it for 45 minutes. Make rice in the cooker. It's ready to go. Healthy food, and you love it. Okay?
In this chapter, the focus is on reading the story. The tutor has worked with this learner for quite a while and knows that he's ready to read the story aloud on his own. If he hadn't been ready, the tutor would have provided more support and first read the story to him, then asked him to repeat each phrase after she read it. This is called echo reading. Next, the tutor and learner would have read the story aloud together. This is called duet reading.
You ready to do your part? Okay.
Vegetables, cabbage, cabbage, carrot, celery, onion, and 2 lemon, and squash, and broccoli. The seasonings, black pepper, little bit salt, garlic powder, fresh, and Maggi. Get together after washing. Put it in the pot. Chop everything. Cut lemon. Press in veggies. No oil, just lemon. Add seasoning. Cook it 45 minutes. Make rice in. Cook. Ready to go. Eat food. I love it.
Before this activity, the tutor typed the learner's story and printed it, making it easier for the learner to read and for the tutor to create activities from the learner's story. In this chapter, the tutor asked the learner to put the sentence strips from his story into the same order as his story. This activity focuses on meaning because the learner has to read and understand each sentence. By putting sentences together in the same order as his original story, he is also doing a kind of writing, but without the stress of forming the sentences with a pencil.
Okay, those sentences that we wrote down before and you read, I put them on strips, and I'm going to spread them out here, and I want you to put them back together in the order that I wrote them, okay?
Okay. I'm not looking at the paper.
You can look at the paper.
Oh, I can look at the paper?
Yeah, you can look at the paper.
This is number 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Another way to give your learner support in learning to write is to have them copy words or a sentence or two from their story. This relieves the stress that comes from composing at the same time as printing and allows the learner to focus on forming words or sentences through copying.
Okay, now that you've gotten them all together, I want you to pick a medium-sized sentence.
Make rice and cook.
Well, if you're going to take a short sentence, we're going to do 2 sentences.
2? Okay.
Okay? And I want you to write them.
Do no oil, just lemon.
Write your sentences.
Okay. No.
Good job.
In this activity, the tutor has created word cards for some of the words in the first 2 sentences in the story. Up until now, they have focused on words and sentences within the context of the story. Now the learner will look at and write individual words outside of the story. Each time the learner sees or copies a familiar word, They notice the shape of the word, the letters in it, and they learn it a little bit better.
Okay, now that we've gone through this, I'm going to move this out of the way.
Okay.
And then we're going to practice the words, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to say it, then I'm going to let you say it, and then maybe we'll, okay?
Okay.
Squash,
Squash.
lemons,
Lemons.
onion,
Onion.
celery,
Celery.
carrot,
Carrot.
cabbage,
Cabbage.
seasoning,
Seasoning.
broccoli,
Broccoli.
okay?
Okay.
Then you read them off.
Broccoli.
Okay.
Seasoning.
Okay.
Cabbage.
Okay.
Carrot.
Okay.
Celery.
Okay.
Onion.
Okay.
Lemons.
Okay.
Squash.
Okay. So are you familiar with them now? Okay. Now I have you write each one twice.
Twice.
Okay.
Onion.
Okay. That one.
Celery.
It's okay. It's right there.
G.
It's right there. You're fine. Q.
Q.
I know the Q and the G look the same.
S. H.
Great.
Squash.
In this chapter, the learner focuses even more closely on the letters that make up familiar words by writing each word as the tutor says it. This is quite a bit more difficult than copying because the learner will have to remember each letter, how to form it, and its order in the word. Your learner will have ownership over their own learning when they find their own errors. If possible, have your learner write each corrected word several times.
Okay. Are you confident now?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to look through that list or pile and pick out 3 that you feel comfortable writing without looking. And I'll remove this. You have 3. You want to do 4?
Let's do 3.
3 is good. Okay. So I will read them off, and you will write them.
Okay.
First one is, you ready?
Yes.
Onion. Okay, now that you've written them, you get to review yourself. Here you go.
Okay, this one.
What is the word?
Lemon. This is onion.
What is it?
Onion.
Okay,
Oh, and
okay. What's the next one?
The next one is the carrot. This only T, no E.
Okay.
Okay.
And the last one?
And the T. The letter is no, okay. Only T, no E. The last one, lemon.
Okay.
Lemons. Okay. Only the lemon I got right.
Yeah.
The carrot is no E.
It's
Put
okay.
E to the end.
It's okay. You did good. I want you to use these 3 and write the words over what you wrote.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Onion. Carrot. Lemon. Lemons.
At the end of every tutoring session, it's a good idea to ask your learner to reflect on their experience, whether they enjoyed the activities, and what helped them to learn. Reflecting on their own learning experience builds the skill of monitoring one's own learning, which is an effective learning strategy. Encourage your learner to do more of the things that help their own learning and fewer of the things that don't.
So we use the words in your story to make it a learning lesson. How did that feel?
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah.
What do you love about it?
It gives me experience life.
Okay.
Life is about learning.
Okay. It's about learning, and you can use your life lessons to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to keep doing this. It's working. We're going to make sure it works in the future. Okay?
You've just seen a tutor working with a learner who does not have literacy in any of his languages. The tutor created a variety of activities based on the learner's story describing a favorite recipe. Using the learner's own words in reading and writing activities ensures that the learning focus is on reading and writing instead of learning new vocabulary or grammar. Learning reading and writing with unfamiliar words and sentences is a daunting task for those who are learning literacy for the first time.